Hey everybody, Ren here. Welcome back to another. Ow, my eye. Ouchie, guys, my eye. I'm dying. Welcome back to another King's Indian Attack speedrun video. We're gonna be trying this E4 D3 stuff again, and our opponent's not falling for it. They're having none of it. Not the province. To my Canadian viewers, that is not what I'm talking about. But they are not. They're not trading on E4. Queen e2 looks reasonable. Queen e2 does look quite reasonable. So does g3 right now. Let's go queen e2. Queen e2 is generally played quite often in these King's Indian attack positions. If knight c6, we do, I believe, want to play c3. All right, let's play g3. And we'll play bishop g2 after. Good. So knight c6, we might, again, want to meet with c3. Or we might not. But, yeah, we'll have to see. If takes, we'll take with the knight. Important. And since they went there, we're actually just going to push. We're happy with that. So they're going to play knight c6 next. And then queen c7. So do we lose the pawn, right? That's something we do have to ask. We could try c3 d4, but the thing is bishop a6 is a little annoying if we're not careful. We could try moving the knight and then playing f4. That's not unreasonable, actually, going for f4, because the center is kind of closed. So I think we'll do that. I think we'll go knight e1 and f4, because then knight c6 and queen c7, not a big deal. If f6, we'll take it. So f4, we'll bring this knight maybe to f3. Or maybe this knight. I'm just not sure where this guy's going yet. Alright, f4. Beautiful. Beautiful. We have a chess position. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. So they're going for the trade of the light square bishops. I think I want to avoid it. I think my bishop's better than theirs because mine's defending the diagonal and theirs is mainly to equalize anything on the diagonal there. And let's continue on the trend of improving our pieces. f6, interesting. I think we are encouraged heavily to take it. And I think we are definitely encouraged heavily to take that. We love the bishops. If our opponent gives us bishops, we take them. Absolutely, we take them. A funny little move here is actually bishop h3. Because I'm just trying to target this guy a little bit. Honestly, like what's going on with this little feller? We got to be a little bit careful. Right, that they don't have like a checkmate, but we should be okay because there is no checkmate yet. There's no checkmate yet. You got to be positive. I guess it's not positive. If it's them getting the checkmate though. So rook a e1, and they defended just in time. So you know what? I'll say congratulations. You moved your knight to f8, but I don't know if it wants to be there. So I'm just going to go back. I'm just going to go back. And I think I want to go knight e5. Now knight e5 definitely looks like a good move. And hey, if we end up trading, that's okay. Because we have a weakness to attack. And they don't, actually. They do not have a weakness to attack. So let's take. Go queen g2. And we want an endgame here, I think. If they do not go for the endgame, I think they might start struggling. Because we might go g4, g5. We might. Or we might not. Yeah, so they go for it, of course. Very smart. Yeah, it feels like we have very one-sided play here. I don't know if we want to take. That's a good move. Because if we take, Then they take with the knight, rook e2. They get e5 just in time, just in time. So I think we want to move our knight back. And if knight g4, we can play h3, so we're okay there. And we want to double up and then play knight e5 back. We want to jump back and be like, oh, sorry, no, we meant to play that, yeah. Okay, rook e2. g5 isn't really a great move, so I'm not really sure what h6 is doing. At first, it looks like a preparatory move. Oh, it also prevents knight to g5, which can be very useful, I guess. So that's fair. Maybe a5, maybe b4. We're looking. We're having a good time, okay? Does f5 work? Not so much. Not when our piece is there. Actually, after f5, e5, bishop f4, they have knight takes f4. So let's play knight e5. Let's play knight e5, right. Okay. Rook takes, and I'm looking at f5 now. They probably play king f7. Right. Let's just continue. Continue on with our track. With the only weakness on the board being their e6 pawn. h4 is a good move to include. Feels good. Which is nice. Now f5. Maybe. No. No. They're going to go for knight d7 and then e5, it looks like. So I want to go rook back to e2. Because if they're going to go for e5, I want to allow them, but I want to make sure I also have f5. So that'll be nice. And yeah, I think it's time for a5. I think it's time. Uh-oh. Should they have allowed that? I'm not sure if they should have allowed that. I'm going to get some pieces over here. I'm going to go like rook a6, bring the other rook over to e1. Let's go rook a6. Kind of get them to answer. It's a good question. It's a very good question. If they take, then I just capture here. F5? Because I want to make sure I keep things like options open. Now I'm looking at G4, actually. That's the thing. When you get two flanks open, you can start probing a little bit. So they did have originally a weakness on E6. Now they have a pawn on E5, which might, of course, not be as weak. But I do have play of my own. E4 is still playable, I believe. And that was because they could, after E4, oh, I'm looking at bishop G5, sorry. But after E4 takes, they can still take on F5. Let me think. Let's go bishop G5. And then maybe rook E4. Maybe. It's nice having this rook here. I want to get it to B7. If I had to put it somewhere, I'd rather have it on B7, I think. Okay, so they see this E4 little trickery. But I think I have a good way to deal with it. That might be annoying for them. So I'm going to take. And I'm not sure how they deal with rook A7. Because king E6, I can now take the rook, right? Am I wrong? I do not think I am wrong. Rook E7, rook D8 are prevented. That's the idea of bishop G5. And it looks like we're winning a piece. So that's good. Pins, people, very important, very important. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have a check though. This was a good try, but I have this check, and then I take. And again, it is a piece. Piece for the piece. Looks like we made a mistake somewhere. Let's find out where. I am interested. Let's find out. So e4, d3 is probably d3. You never know, honestly. Queen e2, g3. So yeah, one thing to worry about is if ever like knight c6. Do they have like knight b4? So castles, there's no knight d4, but knight b4. Oh, we don't have to worry about it here actually, maybe. Because we have rook b1 and then queen d1. And it looks like the piece is actually getting trapped. So that's a good trick to know. And of course, knight d4 we're never really scared of here in these positions. This does not look fun with these pawns. They feel quite weak. So I'd imagine we're okay there too. So b6, e5, knight e1, f4, everything felt pretty okay here. Beautiful pieces. And yeah, the evaluation kind of shoots up because now they have a weakness. I'm wondering if I didn't play this correctly though. Knight fg5. That does look good. The thing is, I wanted the bishop pair, but maybe the bishop pair was not something to care about. Like queen h5 is a threat now, and that's an annoying threat. Like if you play a6, you're lost after queen h5. The rook is hit, the pawn is hit, you're lost. Like yeah, it's gone. Life sucks. Yeah, so that's really good. But I missed that, which is fine. Bishop h3 is probably a bit of a waste of time. Yeah, bishop d2 is arguably better. Yeah, so that's where I think the mistake was, missing this knight fg5 with queen h5. That's a cool one though. But you know, tactics are not necessarily my strong point, so forgive me. And yeah, after knight c6, now it's recommending to, well, it's still queen h5. It still recommends takes. Actually, f takes. That's interesting. Why f takes? Oh, because their king is just extremely weak, right? Yeah. If they ever challenge the file, then, well, bishop f4 looks good too. And this might even force them to make even more concessions. Like if they play e5, this looks like a huge concession. Now g6. Wow. Okay, I'm seeing a cool variation here. G6, h6, and now you can take it. You actually can here. Because queen h7. So like if you, like the only move is like knight f6 to stop it. But after knight f6, you just win the piece, right? So yeah, that's incredible. That's really cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, it looks like that was our mistake, missing that fg5, which can pop up. Like that's, yep. So bishop h3. I wanted to wait with bishop d2 stuff. I was actually expecting e5 here. So I'm glad that it didn't happen because it turns out this is very good for them. And I think it's because now bishop g2, e4. Yeah. Uh-oh, whoopsie. Queen d1, e4. Oh, takes, queen takes, rook e8. Yeah, they just get a lot more activity. That's not good. We shouldn't allow that. So it looks like that was, besides knight fg5, which is a tactical thing that we probably should have seen, then the next best or next worst thing we did is bishop h3 to g2, which again kind of defeats the rule that I mentioned, which is you probably shouldn't be shuffling pieces in a way like that. Like I was trying to probe, but this isn't a probing position. This is like there's pieces on the board. They almost had a mate idea in the air. Definitely not time to probe. Bad. Yeah, so here I thought it was actually quite good to trade for us. And it looks like it is. Yeah, it looks like we just have a pleasant advantage just because they have this backwards pawn. B3, knight d7, knight f3. And again, you don't really want to take because it definitely gets rid of any pressure that you had, because now just e5 is not really easy to stop. Like, you go here. Does e5 work? Or did I just like miscalculate things? Maybe I just miscalculated. Because e5 does not work. I guess it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. My bad. No, it does work. I literally just said it works. Okay. Maybe I'm just tired, guys. Forgive me. But okay, knight f3, h6. h6 also felt a little off, but it was preventing knight g5, so it does make sense. And then we got to double. And again, yeah, I think maybe one of their best ideas here is actually a5. They need to prevent any breaks from me, because if you have one weakness, it's defensible, right? This is a ugly position, but it's holdable. The second you have, there's another front where your opponent can attack you from, is where it becomes unmanageable. And that's exactly what happened in this game. It's the principle of two weaknesses. So h6, so let's just move on to see what I mean here. It's funny that the evaluation's not super duper great. I think we needed to keep the other pair of pieces on the board. I think that's the argument. Or is it? Maybe h4 is just bad, and we should have gone for g4 and f5. Trying to make things a little bit more open, because we do have a bishop. That's actually a reasonable thing to expect. But yeah, so around this point anyways, now it looks like we do have some play, which is good. G4 is an interesting move, but f5 I thought was a bit more challenging, and I wanted to go g4 if I could. h5, bishop g5, and which actually didn't even show up at first, which is a very good move. E4, and e4 was a mistake, which is nice. So actually, after taking, they had to play d3 here. Rook takes f5 looks like it just completely loses a piece after rook a7. Rook d5 is an interesting try. There's also rook takes g5, but of course this is gonna end up losing, just because, well, we do have an extra exchange, and we have more activity as well. So that looks like a huge problem. And of course, after that, we won the game. I would say the two things to take away from this are, when your opponent's playing like this at the start, and they are kind of not bringing pieces to their king side, like knight f8 or whatever, and then they also still play a move like f6, it's an invitation to their king. And that's what I missed here, is that after bishop takes, for example, knight f g5, and going for moves like queen h5, even though they might look artificial at first, when you look deeper into the variations, they're extremely strong. And if h6, then what am I reading? Wow. Okay, so the move here is knight to d6. What? Like, I see the idea now, because after bishop takes g2, there's knight takes e8. And then you can take on f6. And then you can take on g2. And the rook's hitting the corner. Knight d6. That's a move. That is certainly a move. I did not see that as a threat. That's ridiculous. So if like a6, does it still work? No, just queen h5 is better. Yeah, of course. g6? Does knight d6 still work? Knight d6 still works. That's cool. And again, if takes, then you just take the bishop and the rook in the corner. So that would be winning. That's going to be it, because I don't want this to go on too long. But hopefully you enjoyed this game. Kind of a fun one, but really crazy. So thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye.